selections are going to be. Hopefully, DZ won't have to fill in for his team today. Hopefully, he's got players that he's more comfortable having in there. Right off the bat, they're going to go ahead and ban away the Kestrel.
Yeah, I'm sure they did their homework, saw that Evol was very comfortable on this Kestrel pick yesterday. Malign being banned as well, no surprise there. Slimy Salamanders, the only team in the world bold enough or dumb enough to let her go through. Definitely going to be re-looking at that one for sure. Vision Gaming, quick to grab up the Celeste. Rogue answers just as quickly with the Sam and the Idris.
Yeah, very quick picks for both of these teams, knowing what they want to get out of this draft. Tony going to come right away as well for Vision. So again, both teams knowing what they want and executing on it immediately as far as the draft is concerned.
I definitely think that Rogue is in a very good spot here because both Lyra and Churnwalker are still on the board. Rogue's gonna get one of them. That's definitely a hero that their captain is very proficient on. Vision Gaming can only block one of them, so Rogue is not gonna be at that captain disadvantage that you've seen a lot of teams try and play off of and force the other team into going for these kind of second-tier heroes.
And I'm actually really curious to see if Evol is gonna be playing either that Samuel or the Idris. You know, I've gotten a chance to chat with him a little bit. He said he's definitely comfortable with more heroes. Looks like the Scarf is actually gonna be his selection for this go-round, but you know, he said the reason he was just playing this less is because they just felt like it was what would work best for their team and what they wanted to try and execute in that game, and it was available, so you might as well grab it. But obviously Vision Gaming wanting to try and push his hero pool a little further, again, wanting to make him prove that he's comfortable with additional heroes. He's gonna have to step up to the plate here.
Kroll and Adagio being picked up by the side of Vision Gaming. That is actually really good stuff because Rogue, they have no front line right now. It is 3 backline squishy mages. If they play it that way, we might be a weapon power Idris. We'll see. I think that because they have the Scarf and the Samuel, it's a little more likely that we see it here in this game. They're actually going to bypass the Churnwalker, though, and go for the Arden.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. A lot of teams have really liked the Churnwalker, but at the same time, you know, Churnwalker, it takes a little while for him to get set up in a team fight. If you have someone diving onto your carries, Churnwalker is not going to be able to save them immediately, whereas Arden can provide that immediate saving grace. So I think the pick actually makes a lot of sense here just because of what they have and what their opponents have already drafted. So the Arden pick, very strong, very versatile hero. Now, what are they going to round out their composition with? Again, still kind of expect those bruisers, but they ban away the Rona, which is what I would have expected them to maybe look for in their final selection.
I think that they realize that Vision Gaming doesn't really have their bot laner at this point in time unless they go for something like a weapon power Adagio. So they didn't want to have to deal with that in the front line, jumping onto their back line squishy heroes. Vision Gaming gonna pick up that Vox though. That's a great pick. Very mobile, allow him to dash out of whether it's the Chakrams or the Malice and Verdicts. He can stay on his feet, making sure he's dodging, and even the Spitfires coming out of Scarf as well. He can constantly maneuver around these team fights, drop a big silence, and then commit to an engagement alongside Kroll and Tony.
All right, the final pick now for Rogue. On the clock, they're gonna go for the Glaive again. When teams don't have the Rona or the Kroll available and they need that big bruiser, Glaive tends to be where these North American teams are looking. And again, we've seen Louis Vuitton have a phenomenal Glaive performance earlier in the preseason. Obviously, he'd like to have a repeat of that.
Definitely. We're definitely hoping that he doesn't have another repeat average performance. It needs to be above average. He needs to make sure that he is a core component of this Rogue roster, going in at the right times when the call is made to engage and just pulling someone out of position with the afterburn immediately.
Yeah, and as much as we're going to be focusing on Louis Vuitton's Glaive, the player to watch, though, I think is going to be Evol coming into this one. We were wondering, is he going to be able to do more than just the Celeste? He brought out the Kestrel yesterday, played phenomenally with it. It got banned away from him today, so now he's on to yet another new hero. We'll get to see just what else he can bring to this mid lane. He is really kind of the core, the central focus of this Rogue squad, and if he's able to perform well, the rest of his teammates around him generally match.
Absolutely. On the flip side of things for Vision Gaming, Lightning T has looked absolutely stellar. when he's on his comfortable heroes. In 3 versus 3, he was very well known for his Skye. We're seeing a lot more Celeste and mages in the backline, and when he has his full roster, when he has the teammates he's used to playing against, when PvP Warrior is on there as well, he's looked very good, a commanding victory over Hammers right there, doing a ton of damage on the Celeste. Definitely needs to make sure he steps up his game today against Rogue if they're going to be successful.
Yeah, and this is one of these guys you expect greatness out of him. He has always been such a stellar standout player that he's going to really, like you said, have to live up to that reputation if Vision is going to turn this thing around and start picking up victories on Sovereign's Rise. And that's what we're going to be looking to see. Which of these two teams is going to start to get themselves back on track? Which one of them is going to start climbing those standings?
Yeah, they both want to make sure with the last game of Week 3 here that they are making a statement before they start preparing for the Week 4. Going to be interesting to see how the things play out given this draft.
And with the draft, you see it there on your screen once again. A very stark contrast in the draft. A lot of dive and survivability over on the side of Vision, whereas Rogue is all about that backline heavy damage once they're able to get online. The question is, will they be able to get to that point? Because if you fall behind with a composition like the one that Rogue has, it becomes extremely difficult to make any sort of impact.
Definitely. There's been a lot of exclusive picks here in North America so far. Rogue doing it once again, picking up that glaive that has looked absolutely phenomenal. Still sitting at a 50% win rate. Gwen above 50% as well, and some other great picks. Vision actually taking Jewel off the table as well, which I thought was a very interesting ban.
Yeah, well, obviously, again, just targeting the players on the side of Rogue, shaking things that maybe they're not comfortable playing against. And these are, once again, the North American exclusive hero picks. That just means these are the picks that North America has played that Europe has not. And obviously, the wins and the number of picks, that's all coming into this week. A lot of these numbers have obviously changed. Malign, 2-2 now. The glaive has been picked in Europe earlier today, and it was picked in North America earlier today as well. So obviously, there's some of these differences are shrinking as we go on, and players and teams start to kind of experiment a little bit more with the heroes that are available to them.
Absolutely. I know that both these teams, they need to get back on track. They need to make sure that they have decisive and concise shot calling, executing as a team. The macro play and the team play is so much higher now on the Sovereign's Rise compared to the Halcyon Fold. If your team is not playing as a cohesive unit, it is very easy to punish. The split second someone gets caught out of position, they're punished for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as we wait for the players to get themselves ready to get on the Sovereign's Rise, just a reminder, you can get involved with us on social media. You can check out our Instagram account at Vainglory Esport. Get involved there. Get involved on Twitter, or you can also go ahead and get yourself involved just in the Twitch chat. We like to see the community feedback. We like to showcase some of what you guys have, and maybe you too can let it be known that you think Flash X is sexy.
I appreciate the compliment very much. But yeah, no, seriously, community engagement going to be taken to a whole new level as we transition into 5v5. You guys have an opportunity to get your fan art on the page, your Twitch chat, post things on Instagram, tag #VPL. There's a lot of opportunities for you guys to get involved there. Very excited with the new direction that things are going.
Yeah, the fan art is actually one of my favorite things to see. Like, just mostly because I'm awful at art, so seeing what some of these some of the community members are able to create has been absolutely phenomenal. And so we're going to take another look at some of this Malign fan art that you guys have created. And once again, a big shout out to those of you that went through not just the time and the effort, but just the work and the practice to be able to make these happen. It looks absolutely incredible. So once more, a huge shout out to Kohai-kun, Skyfu, and Elesner26 for their phenomenal work.
Definitely great stuff. Celeste, it looks like, might be sneaking into the Malign fan art as well. That's all right, though. It's still phenomenal work regardless, and definitely very appreciative of everyone in the community who always comes out and participates. There's so many amazingly talented artists in the community, And definitely looking forward, as Vainglory grows as a game, to seeing the fan art grow as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the community following. So much love to everyone out there. Stay involved. Continue to just be involved with the community, be involved with each other, and hopefully we'll be able to get this game underway very shortly. Once again, we're just waiting for the players to get everything kind of sorted out on their ends so that we make sure we have a nice, fair, and even matchup to go for our final game of the day. And so once again, I'm just going to break down this draft a little bit more. And one of the things I want to focus on here is actually the bans that you come through. We talked about the Jewel being a bit of a surprise, the Kestrel kind of being a target ban. When we're drafting in 5v5, obviously a lot of these players have been playing for a long time now and have deeper hero pools. How difficult is it, or how likely is it, if it's the reverse, for a team to just sit there and say, okay, we want to just target ban one specific player?
It's definitely a lot more challenging in 5v5 because there's now 3 pick phases. If you are not being very careful about isolating a lot of these picks very early on, especially if they're meta picks, it's hard to do. But if you can pick out a situation where a hero likes to play things a little more off meta, it definitely makes it more challenging.
All right, well, the players are now ready. I'm sure the casters are ready as well. Denominate and Humanist, take it away.
We're actually not ready, Bacon. Let's go back to the desk. Just kidding. Don't do it, production! We are in the game. I'm ready. I'm here with Nom Noms himself. We got Vision Gaming going up against Rogue. This is going to be a spicy little best of one. I hope you guys are ready.
Yeah, definitely will. And we do have Marto stepping in for Jason on the side of Rogue. A little bit of an engage starting there early and vulnerable on the Kroll with the beautiful Samurai Kroll skin, picking off a bit of damage on Sibs, who's going to be looking to play the Jungle Idris this game.
Jungle Idris coming out of Sibs. How does that... It feels like he's going to get bullied out of the jungle by this Kroll. If Kroll knows where he is, if they're in the same vicinity at all, that Kroll should be dumping on him early.
Definitely seems like it would be the case. However, the Idris will get his the heroic perk, the Divergent Paths, online a little bit sooner because he won't have to build into the Book of Eulogies early on. He'll also have some freedom to roam into the lanes and try to get some ganks and accumulate some additional gold. That way, he'll get some ambient while he's in those lanes as well. So there's a lot of potential actually for a Jungle Idris. We've seen quite a few players pick that up and do exceptionally well on it actually. So excited to see what Sibs can do here on the side of Rogue.
I'm excited to see what he can do as well. For right now, it's going to be Sibs and Louis Vuitton making a little rotation through the jungle. Evo getting lit up in mid here. He's going to be stunned up and taken on down. Nice kill going the way of Vision to start things off here.
Yeah, absolutely. Good play from Lightning T there. Once upon a time, one of my favorite laners. Glad to see him coming back into the lane here on this Celeste. Celeste also one of his signature heroes from back in the day, so expect some big things out of this guy today. But Louis Vuitton on the side of Rogue, we've seen him with some absolutely outstanding performances on this Glaive. He's going to be in the top lane and going to be matching up against the Adagio Neon Fire. So we'll have to see if Glaive can capitalize on any of those ganks. Adagio doesn't have any way to escape those ganks just due to his lack of mobility. So a lot of potential for Glaive to set things up, but we have to see these rotations and effective rotations come out of Sibs to do so.
Speaking of rotations, Marto, the North American god himself, making a rotation, taking a whole bunch of damage there. Sibs, little shock from out of the brush, Dead Man's Rush on forward and vulnerable. He's got to be careful making that forward movement like that when he has no way out himself. In fact, Sibs is going to go ahead and chase him down. Sibs has a weapon buff. Chakram's going to connect. Basic attacks start to come on through. The healing flask popped. Invulnerable continues to run. Look at him run. Who can run like Invulnerable can? A jump forward and shot step, but Sibs is stunned up. Dude, did you play yourself? No, Marto's there. I'll give him a little Vanguard. I like the trade back and forth here. Pool jumps back in. Pool, what are you doing? That's not where you wanted to go. But it's all calculated. Evo not gonna connect on that Spitfire. Potentially dodged out. Potentially a miss. We'll never really know unless we get to interview these players someday. Denominate.
Yeah, it's probably just a little bit of a miss there. It happens, you know, skill shots, you can't land every single one. I do think Invulnerable used the Spectral Smite a little bit too soon when he engaged onto Sibs. He didn't get the maximum amount of healing, nor did he get the maximum amount of damage, and we know Kroll gets lifesteal based on each one of those stacks, so I think there was some potential for them to pick up that return kill onto Sibs, who has his 5 crystal bits, he has the Divergent Path unlocked, and he's now going to have those ranged attacks. Looking at the side of Rogue, they are going very crystal heavy with Evol, Jesus, and Evol. So, or Evol, Jesus, and Sibs. So I would expect to see some shield come out early. Yes, I mean, Evol's just so good. I had to say him twice.
Yeah, Evil, and Evil. Yeah, I think he'd do pretty well there. Now, Pool looking to teleport out. It's going to be canceled up by Marto as he drops down towards the bottom lane. Jesus having a lot of pressure down here. Sibs even backing him up as well. Maybe getting him into that position where he can just port back or make some rotation somewhere else. He doesn't actually need to port, so that was a stupid statement, but he does need to have a little pressure relieved.
Yeah, a little bit. When you're up against PvP Warrior on Vox in the lane, you definitely want as much help from your team as you can, because we've seen PvP Warrior in the past on this hero basically 1v5 a couple fights, so we'll have to see how he pulls it together this one. He's got a level advantage over Jesus right now, so that is going to be important as this game moves on. Samuel's Oblivion's going to come online a little bit after the wait for it, and that silence coming out of Vox can be absolutely devastating to a team. You know, if you line it up correctly and timely enough, you can silence the whole enemy team.
It can feel really powerful. It can also feel just like it's useless at times, but we'll see how that's going to play out. And
it's never useless. You can always at least still apply resonance with it.
I mean, not if you throw it behind you.
Well, I mean, that's unfortunate, but you're correct.
Hopefully I didn't curse him. Look at a 2-man silence to nominate the Prophet, calling it. They couldn't do anything with that silence coming on through. Now Pull, look for the trash talk. He's gonna go ahead and pull them back. He pulls him on back. He's memeing his own name. Jesus can do nothing to save his ally here as Marto gets put on down, and very clean rotations coming out of Vision Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Now PvP Warrior, he is looking to get a little bit of damage onto this turret. Jesus does not have the Oblivion yet, but he's got some Malice and Verdicts onto the heels of PvP Warrior. Don't think a kill's gonna come of it, but we'll have to see.
Dude, PvP will never die to a Samuel, but Ghostwing, get him! Ghostwing almost took him out. That was pretty funny. That would have been actually hilarious.
It would have been pretty awesome for Jesus there if Ghostwing would have finished off that kill, as the Samuel would have been the one to pick that one up. But now he's just gonna have to return to farming. See the Samurai coming down though.
Lightning T taking a lot of damage. He does find the stun onto Marto, the Helio as well. The Vanguard should keep him alive. I'd love to see a hero that can actually control the dragons. That's what I'm talking about. Next up, Neon Fire at the self buff into the first. He'll get a kill! He's gonna find a stun on Sibs as well. Evo would have. Oh man, I want to cuss right now. He would have got wrecked as well. Neon Fire, dude, I'm loving this Adagio early on here, making it happen, man.
Yeah, Adagio can apply a lot of pressure thanks to the Stormcrown. He's able to effectively farm his wave, but you cannot disregard the fact that if he gets that self-heal and that damage buff, he will absolutely shred targets apart, even without any crystal power to back it up. So very effective early game build. In the later stages, he's not going to be very damage heavy, but he will be very, very tanky, almost like a second support. And all of that bonus health that Adagio builds over the course of this game will also improve the healing on his Gift of Fire. So we will have to see what the Adagio is able to do to ideally keep his carries alive. Couple ults burned there that were unnecessary for that kill onto Samuel, but
Completely necessary.
I mean, it secured them this turret, so in the end, that Solar Storm...
That Jesus is never gonna mess around again, because he remembers his corpse falling to the ground and then 2 ultimates flying over the top of him, so he's like, I actually can't do anything anymore, team.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the case as Vision Gaming, they're just pushing into the armory, and now they need to get away from Jesus here.
Do they?
Ideally.
He got level 8
Lightning
Lightning D, the Celeste. He's also got the Crystal buff. He's in a good place right now. They got the Ghostwing buff as well. These guys are incredibly strong, and I think it's a little deceptive also having Neon Fire on their team, because he can just drop a heal onto his team as well. They're pretty tanky.
Yeah, again, with the additional bonus health, Neon Fire actually can heal quite a bit, but with Vision Gaming being so close to the base of Rogue there, it would have been too risky for them to push a little bit too far forward. They were low on health and had primarily squishy target there on the front line at Celeste. They would have had to be careful about the afterburn coming out of Glaive in the base. It would have been only a short distance for Glaive to run.
Yeah, but right now, they are completely on the back foot. That's going to be the T1 turret going down. Evil taking a lot of damage as well. Now, it's actually an aggressive move forward. Now, PvP Warrior, you look, he's got his breaking point. Now, this is the time where PvP Warrior starts to dumpster fools. Sib is able to juke a little bit of damage. Marto, you're in a bad position as well. Oblivion's going to come out, won't connect. The Fountain's going to keep Vision fighting alive. They're going to find us one stun with that burst coming out. Neon Fire keeping his teammates alive. Have they lost anybody? Pole stays alive as well. That perk keeping him alive. Unbelievable. Evil drops from the base. PvP, I don't know what he's doing. Dancing around the wall. You deserve it, bud. Do the Macarena for all I care. Vision Gaming putting on a performance here.
Yeah, PvP was pretty close to picking up that kill onto Jesus, just wasn't able to find that last hit, but now here comes Louis Vuitton.
There's the Glaive you warned us about, Denominate, so fear.
Yeah, not a huge impact from the Glaive there, but Vision Gaming respect his potential and are trying to get out. Oh, Louis Vuitton picks up the kill onto PvP, who is recalling taking a sip of water, fearing he was safe.
It's mobile gaming, bro. Yeah, you can drink water and you can go to the bathroom. You can do whatever you want. You can't port and take your hands off of your device.
And it looked to be the case. He saw the Glaive coming. The first hit came, and there was no movement. And then it was just all Glaive from there.
Well, I guess if the people stand still, there's easy comebacks on the table here. For the side of Rogue. Now, you know, kind of joking around a little bit. Rogue, they're on the back foot. They have the tools to turn this around, to put this together, but it's definitely a tough position to be in right now. As 5, Rogue kind of flexing their positioning down in this bottom lane. They might be looking for a turret, but Ghost Wing as well on the table. But not before Vision Gaming starts to rotate around the backside. They'll get the turret, but Invulnerable into position. Look for the Krull to get onto key targets. He's on to G. Jesus, correct me if I'm wrong. Burst comes on a 3-man stun. Adagio, what a hero. Solar Storm's gonna clip Louis Vuitton. They've taken 3 down. Glaive has an afterburn coming up in 1 second. Get it. Oh, he got it just the tip right there. Jesus continues to drift back in that dark. Invulnerable. Shadows empower him as he'll chase on forward. He'll be able to take that Glaive on down, and Jesus is just a matter of time before you go down 2, bud. In fact, 1 second before his allies respawn. That's gonna be the ace. Vision Gaming in their base. Feeling good, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Vision playing out of their minds right now. PvP Warrior, level 9 here on this Vox, is gonna have to dash over the wall here.
You got this.
Got this. So, Evol, unfortunately for the side of Rogue, is that hyper carry that they need, and he's sitting way behind in CS right now. Lightning T on the Celeste in the mid lane, 72, only 49 for Evol. He has the Spellfire complete, but has been struggling to get into that second tier 3 item, which is likely going to be either a Shatterglass or a Dragon's Eye, followed by a Clockwork. Have to see if they're able to turn things around. They need to get this dragon fed if they want to have a chance in this game.
I just love the way Vision's playing this game. Like, strategically, their draft makes a lot of sense, but the way they're actually executing on it is really a thing of beauty. The Celeste is pumping out so much damage right now. It's a huge threat. You have to avoid the damage coming out there. Back to Solar Storm. Just look at 60%, 75% of Evil's health, more than the 80%, 90% of his health with 1 Solar Storm. I mean, do we even need to analyze this?
Well, Black Claw is now on the rise. I don't know if there's a whole lot of analysis to go into there. Celeste ultimate, 2 levels ahead, can basically one-shot this Scarf. 1 follow-up basic attack or Heliogenesis will definitely lock that out. But with that bottom armory destroyed and the central part of this base crippled, I definitely think Vision Gaming are looking for the win in this one.
Vision Gaming moving on forward here. Going to be the first, or the mid turret going down. Black Claw incredibly healthy. Nice little chunk of damage comes out as the turret explodes here. Marto pulls the trigger on the gauntlet. Pool able to escape right out of there. He'll get the taunt, pulling the Arden back. Oh my goodness, Rogue getting melted. They're going to try and retreat back, maybe heal up. Solar Storm doesn't connect on this one, but they don't even need it. Neon Fire, he's gonna wind up for the verts. He'll take Marto on down with that beautiful judgment call. Jesus can only watch as his base is torn apart. Fate Crystal down, Rogue have fallen. Vision Gaming looking really strong here.
Yeah, at the beginning of this game, I thought Rogue were going to be the ones to come out on top. We've seen massive performances from Evo on the Celeste and the Kestrel. Unfortunately, this time around, it doesn't appear the Scarf worked out very well for